What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. If you guys are new and you clicked on this video and you have not seen us on YouTube before, consider going back and checking out some of our other videos. We do some pretty cool stuff on this channel that relates to diesels, mostly Power Stroke related content. But go back, check it out, see if y'all like it, and consider hitting subscribe and give us a like or two. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. I've got a couple things I want to go over real quick before we get to today's main topic. We've had a couple different things happen around here. Quick white truck update. We are completely wired. The entire truck is wired. Most of it's hidden and everything. This is pretty much the only thing you can see. You can see where I did all my cables and tucked them real nice down on the frame rail there. All nice and loomed up. Pretty stoked about that. I don't know if I had the radiator and everything mounted last video, but that's mounted all up in there. Everything as far as wiring is completely done. The fans, the Harley fans are wired. We have full cab power. I've got everything cleaned up in here, as you can see. Nice and pretty. Got cab power. Pretty stoked about that. Yeah. So, all we're waiting on is a turbo kit, and then we are ready to rock and roll. I really wish that would come in. I'm getting kind of impatient. But nitrous is completely wired up. We will have just both solenoids on a switch. I have a maximizer, but I like the control of just being able to hit a button and have full control of it that way, not having to rely on it. I really think that's all I got for you on the white truck. We're just completely wired on it. The fans are wired, so as soon as you hit the ignition, all the fans come on, air dog comes on. That's all I got on the white truck. We did pick up a new roll cart. I've been after one of these for a while now. My buddy Garrett come across it, and we did some trading on some 6-liter parts. But this is a Matco 80 series roll cart. It's brand new. Did some trading on that. I didn't really need it, but they're just so cool. It's a they only made it for like a year, I think, and that is the same way with my red, white, and blue Epic from Snap-on over there. I like the 1 year only toolboxes. But that's really all I've got as far as a quick update with the other trucks on the channel. If you got, like I said, if y'all are new, go back, check out some of the other videos where we do a full build. That's one of the main trucks on the channel. But on today's episode, our main focus today is cab mounts on the wife's Harley Davidson truck. If y'all haven't, I've got a couple different videos with this truck on the channel. Like I said, this is my wife's F-350. It's an 05 truck. It was one of the rare trucks. It's black with the maroon ghost flames. We really haven't done much to it. It's got a 5-inch Jamo kit from Turbo Back that I had on my black truck I put on it. Couple other odds and ends. I put the front clip off of my black truck, the headlights, and the special billet grill there. Just an absolutely beautiful unit of a truck. We drove like 17 hours to go pick this thing up. It is leveled in the front, and I took the blocks out of the rear. I need to get rid of the leveling kit in the front because it kind of squats a little bit. But it's a leveling kit in the front, 22 by 14 American Force fluxes that are powder coated from American Force, all black. The center caps were powder coated black. And I think they're 305, 45, 420 Vs. She loves it. It's been an amazing truck. We really haven't done much to it. It's got ringed heads. It's just deleted, tuned. It's got innovative tunes on it. Just a really fun stock truck. She loves it. This is her toy. I know you see me drive it a lot, but that's just because I'm jealous. But yeah, cab mounts are absolutely smoked on this thing. I've been putting it off for like a year now, so it's finally to the point where can't do that no more. So me and her are going to tackle that today. Super excited. So I'm going to have my beautiful little helper over here. But we've got some S&Bs right here that have been sitting on the shelf, and we're gonna get it pulled in and start popping them out. So real quick, I want to go over some tooling and everything for this job. I'm gonna let you know right now, if you do not have one of these, you need to go pick that up. Go to Lowe's, go to your hardware supply store, and you want to get the yellow bottle, the MAP gas, and make sure you get your nozzle up top and everything like that. You're going to want to get the bolts on the actual cab mounts up underneath. You need to get them bad boys glowing, because if you don't, they love to seize up. They're heavily Loctited from factory, and you'll go to pull them out and they will kind of galled up a little bit, and then you're going to start spinning the dinner plate. I'll show you what I'm talking about there, up underneath the cab, and then it turns into an absolute nightmare of a job. So you need to go get yourself a torch of some type and get them bad boys glowing before you buzz them out. Another thing is, I do not like to do this with a ratchet. I will do 2 of them with a ratchet, but the rest of them I will use my snap-on impact here. A lot of people say not to use an impact, but I believe that those people don't do this for a living. The reason you use an impact is because once you got them bad boys glowing, you want that jarring effect that an impact has to bust all that Loctite to bring that bolt out. I'm going to do this job on the ground. The best case to do this would be obviously with a rack, where you could just pick the cab up and replace them all that way, but obviously most of the people watching this channel are not going to have a rack like that to be able to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull it in, and we're going to use a jack to do it. You need to be very careful. I'm going to use a block of wood, and I'll show you how I position it and everything to get the cab jacked up. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop all this row loose, and then we're going to take this row completely out. And then what we'll do is we'll jack the cab up on this side while these bolts are still in and just kind of not snug but loose. And then we will replace this entire side cab mounts, and then we'll snug it up same way and do the other side. Really straightforward. The way that I do this, I do not remove the rear seat. I think that is a gigantic waste of time. I'll show you how I get to those cab mounts that are in the middle on a crew cab truck, and I'll show you how I buzz them loose and everything like that. Not a super big deal, and it saves you a ton of time removing the rear seat, as well as if you are by yourself, you're your own person that does this stuff, pulling the rear seat is almost impossible. It is extremely heavy. It almost always requires 2 people. So I'm gonna try and save y'all a headache on that one and show y'all how I tackle that. But like I said, definitely need a torch and a good impact gun and a good compressor, and you'll need a 21mm and a 24mm socket. Also, when you're using an impact like that, I like to go ahead, and you can go pick it up from Harbor Freight, doesn't matter. The little icon swivels, where you can actually mount your socket, and it's just a universal swivel. You'll need that for the front cab mounts, you know, by the front seats and everything like that, to where you can kind of get your impact tilted up in there. Be very careful. Sockets like to fall off, and when they do, they will roll down inside the cab, and you'll never see them again. So be very careful with that. And another thing is, once the cab bolts start coming out and you feel the impact coming up with it, do not let off. Just bring it all the way out. Watch your toes, because that smoking hot dinner plate that holds the bottom of the cab mount up is probably going to fall down, and you do not want to burn your toes. So just a heads up on that. But let's get her pulled in, and let's go ahead and start getting all the plastic trim pulled off so we can access these bolts. So we're going to go over the cab real quick. We're going to start by getting our floor mats out of here, and then we're going to pop this piece loose. This piece loose, you will have a push pin back here, a little plastic push pin that we're going to have to pull out, and then this piece will come off, and then we'll work our way back, and we're going to pull this piece loose, get rid of the floor mats in the back as well, and then we're going to pop our seat back, and you will have one back here and another one on the other side as well. It's hard to see in here because the truck's all black, but we're going to go ahead and start getting all that popped loose. Got my lovely assistant here. And we're gonna go ahead, get all the floor mats out and get all these pieces loose. Nothing crazy. When you pull these up, you're just gonna pop them just like that. Nothing crazy, they're just pop pins. And that's about the extent of that. So we're gonna get all that popped out real quick and show you all the grommets to access the cab bolt holes. Bravo.
Sure. How do I get this hooky thingy out? Oh, never mind. It popped out.
Got it. So normally there'd be a push pin right there. I believe the cab has been off this truck prior. So.
Oh gosh. Just yank.
Don't hurt your fingers. No, don't pull that yet.
Oh, okay. What am I yanking?
Like to put these in the back of the bed with the corresponding side. See that? So like I said, on the other side, there's your push pin right there. You're gonna need a little panel popper or something to get that out. Like that. I like to just put that in the cup holder. So this truck has a small subwoofer behind the rear seat here that we're having to kind of move the seat just a little bit so we can get it out and set it up there. So I'm going to kind of briefly show how you can remove the rear seat if you need to. You'll have an 18 right here, and then you'll have one up underneath the truck in this general area. One over there, same side, and then you can get the seat out.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm not doing well. One down.
Now you're going to just take your carpet, like from up here, and you're just gonna slide it down. I like to pull it up underneath the pedals here, just like that. And I don't know what that is, but it was hanging out. Cool. And then here's your grommet that we're gonna pop out. I like to just push them in and then twist them, pull them out like that. And then our cab bolt is right there. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go back here, and we've got our sub out, and I might have to get a flashlight. All right, and if you look back here, pull your carpet up. Here is your other one. This is right behind the rear seat. And then on this one, what I like to do is I'm just gonna pull this carpet up from underneath the actual thing here, just like that. And you can reach in here, put your whole arm up underneath the carpet, and you'll feel the other grommet right here. And you'll have to just work kind of blind there and pop pop it out, and then we'll use a ratchet on these two middle ones. Same thing on this side. We're gonna reach up here, pull our carpet back, and there's our other cab, grommet. Same thing, push it on in, just like so, and pull it out, voila. And the same thing in the back.
I already got the carpet up.
It'll be just, you put your whole arm up underneath this, just like so, pop your grommet out, and then same thing with our seat here. Pull our seat down. If you have a spare jack, go ahead and get that out of the way. It'll be right up underneath this. You'll pull the carpet back towards you. You can get your impact back behind it. Touch on our front ones on your core support here. I'm gonna shine down here. If you look down underneath your cold side cack pipe, it is right there, right where that battery cable's at. Those are 18s. Go on the other side. You're gonna need a long extension. You're gonna have to remove your air box. It is the same exact deal. It is right there, up underneath the right there, underneath the air box there. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to buzz one side completely out and buzz one side and leave it loose, and then we're going to jack one side of the cab up, replace those cab mounts, snug them up, and do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Make sure that you leave all of the ones on one side just loose. Do not take the bolts completely out, because you're going to slide the cab, and when you do that, it's going to be a pain in the ass to line all the bolts back up. So I'm going to roll up underneath it, and I'm going to start getting these bad boys glowing, and we're going to buzz them out. So as you can see, I'm going to take mine. I got myself a swivel there and an 18 and a long extension. Just going to fish it up underneath the cack pipe and everything there, get it situated. And once you're on it, put your impact on it, and you can go ahead and buzz her out. Thing on this side, just going to take it, fish it down in here, get up on it. Like that. And that's all you need to do on the front. Now what we can do is we're going to move up underneath the truck, and you can see that one's all crusty. These ones usually are always good, and if you look back there, that one is just completely checked out, as well as the back. So this thing was just clunking and making all sorts of noise going down the road, and it's usually always the rear that just fall completely apart the most, and then the ones in the very front are the next. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and get our torch, and we're going to get the bolts. So we'll show you here. We're going to take it, and just on the bolt right there, we're going to go ahead and get the bolts glowing there. You want to get them pretty hot. These center ones, they do not have like the dinner plate style, like the rear and the front, where it's a metal plate that holds the cab mount up. So be careful, because you will get covered in hot melting rubber, and it is not fun. So get them bolts, just the tip of the bolt there. Just get that nice and hot, and then you're going to go straight up and buzz the bolts out as fast as possible. So we're going to buzz these things out. I got them glowing, and your front one here is going to be a 21 millimeter. Go ahead, honey. Same thing on this side, 21 in the back. Now, like I said, on the middle section here, I like to get a nice long ratchet, and this is also, one side is just going to be all 21s, and usually The other side's usually mixed up. Some are 21s and a few are 24s. But long ratchet, 21 millimeter socket. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over here. You're gonna lift this up with your arm. You're gonna slide your ratchet in. You're just gonna have to do it kind of blind. Get your ratchet on there. You'll feel it grab, and then get your arm out of there. I like to keep my hand on it over the carpet there, and just start working her loose. And at some point, you're gonna feel it get really loose. And I like to go get my battery ratchet, and I'll buzz it the rest of the way out with my battery ratchet.
Oh God! Oh no!
Real quick, I'm going to touch on our core support body mounts. I'm probably not going to replace them on this truck. They are brand new for some reason on the front. I don't know why they'd have been replaced and not the rest of them. But if you're going to replace them on yours, the kit does come with them. It used to not come with them, so make sure that you get it for a crew cab truck. But if you're going to replace your front ones, what you're going to do is you're going to have to remove the front bumper, come down here, and you're going to have to remove the tow hooks, and then there is a hole that comes through the frame and goes up, and you're going to have to suck that bolt out that way, and it'll fall out, and then you'll have to sneak your new cab mount through this hole, slide it back, and then get your bolt lined up. The front ones are kind of a pain in the butt, and they really don't do a whole lot of much. Usually they're never bad in the first place, so 100% up to you if you choose you want to replace them. I'm not going to replace them on this truck because they're already new, but we're going to go ahead and still replace all the rest of the other ones. All right, guys, so real quick, if you look right here, if you get after this in the dinner plate right there, that bottom section, if it is seized up inside, I've had that happen, you're going to need to get a long pry bar. I have an adjustable one, and get up underneath it and try and just find a good spot to pry from. This is hard to do while recording. Get on it there like so, and then I'm just gonna have to just like that. Make sure you don't touch it because it's going to be extremely hot. Let's go over all of our cab mount stuff here. S&B includes brand new hardware. That's the best thing about these cab mounts. They also come with a lifetime warranty. If you go and get these directly from Ford, not S&B ones, Ford factory cab mounts, they will be deteriorated within a couple years, and you'll be doing this again. So you need to go pick these up. They are a lot cheaper than Ford mounts, and they will last the lifetime of the truck. They are extremely nice silicone units. They ride absolutely amazing. These things are 100% worth the money, and they come with all the new stuff. Whereas your Ford stuff, you got to reuse the dinner plate that you just messed up knocking out and all that good stuff. So S&B thinks of everything to go ahead and do this, as well as brand new hardware already pre-Loctite, which is extremely nice. So what we're going to do now is, like I said, we've got one side loose and we've got the other side completely out. What we're going to do is we're going to go get a floor jack and a decent sized 4x4, and we're going to jack one side of the cab up and replace that side and set it back down. We're gonna go, there's a nice flat spot directly underneath right here. It's where I want my block of wood to go, and we're just gonna jack it up nice and slow right there. Be very careful. This is obviously not the best way to do this, but obviously most people don't have a lift, so we're going to show you how to do it without a lift. All right, make sure your block of wood's nice and straight. Then we're going to come out here and we're just going to start slowly jacking this bad boy on up. You're going to want to periodically get underneath the truck and see if you have enough room to slide the old cab mount out. Let me see it. So as they're at this second, we do. You want a good chunk of space there. What we're going to do is we're just going to reach up here, make sure it ain't hot, slide her on out, send her home. Same thing with the rest of them, all the way down. And then we'll go ahead and we will get our new ones placed down and the cab lowered back down.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing you can do is take a punch and a hammer, and this dinner plate is on the top of this middle one. Get a hold of it right here, give her a smack. Just like that. Get rid of that and pull your middle one out of here. And that is all of our cab mounts on this side. All right, so now on our new cab mounts, what we're going to do is, if you can see here, it's going to show you that where the section will go above the cab. So we're going to pull that down. This bottom section, go ahead and get rid of your paper card there. This bottom section is going to be the only thing that goes up underneath it, so it's going to sandwich. The frame rail will be in between here. This red goes up top, and you'll sandwich it in between just like that. So let's go ahead and get all these. I like to go ahead and set these down, get all my old ones, or not my old ones, all my new ones separated, all the paper out. That way I'm not getting up and down from underneath the truck. Just like so. And now take all three of these and go underneath the truck. Get all your old crusty, nasty junk out of the way. Then when you come up underneath here, you're going to be very careful. These are slotted, so is the frame rail, so they will only go in one way. You're going to lay that down right there. Make sure your plastic shim on the top stays with the cab mount. Do not let that fall off. And do the same thing all the way throughout. Just like so. Like I said, make sure your plastic shims stay on the top. And now that you have all three of those placed where they need to go, you can go ahead and get your jack out of the way. Lower it down slow because you don't want the cab to shift and knock those plastic shims off the top of the cab mount. Just like that. And now you're going to want to get all your stuff out of the way. And what we're going to do is, we might not be able to record this part, but what we're going to do is I'm gonna get underneath the truck. It helps to have an assistant. Thankfully I have one. And what we're gonna do is I'm going to hold this up underneath. It does have a gasket that will kind of hold it, but they like to fall out. What I'll do is I'm gonna hold this up underneath and keep it held, and your assistant is going to feed this through the hole and get this started into that, and then you're good to go. And once it's started, you'll be fine and go ahead and move over to the other side. Now that we have all the bottom pieces where they need to go and we've got the bolts started, I'm gonna go ahead and grab just a ratchet, and I'm just gonna do a couple threads into the actual new cab mounts, and then we're gonna move over and replace the driver's side. And then once we're done with that, we can go ahead and snug the entire cab up. Once we have our new cab mounts on the passenger side snug, and I mean that very loosely snug, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the driver's side and get the rest of these bolts completely out. Pay attention to this one. This is the only special one that will come with the new cab mounts. It's got this fat shank on the very tip where the bolt head is at. Make sure you put that in the exact same spot it come out of. And the rest will all be the same size. Just like that. At this point, you can go ahead and get rid of your impact gun. You will no longer need it. Watch it, honey. So our front one on this side is completely seized, will not come out with a pry bar. So now what I've done is I've got my punch here, and if you look in there, you'll see where you can get on the actual center section of the actual head there, right there. Do not put it down in the threads because your punch won't come back out. And I'm just gonna give her a couple love taps to get her to knock down. Good to go. I'll go as much as the battery ratchet will let me, and then we're going to go back and torque them. these are going to torque to 60 foot-pounds. I like to go in a crisscross pattern, so I will do passenger rear corner, I'll move over to the driver front corner, shoot back straight over to the driver rear corner, and then I'll move back to the passenger front, and then back over to the driver middle, and then to the passenger middle. Move over to this other side. I'll also like to, once I get done doing our first torque sequence, I'll go back and we'll recheck most of them. They will get loose as you're tightening the cab down. Some of them will get loose. It might help to go grab the battery ratchet and snug them back as you go. And we'll go to the driver front. To driver middle. I may have messed that up. And now we'll move over to the passenger middle. All right, and once you have all of them torqued for the first time, I'm gonna go back the opposite way, just like we did the start, and I'm gonna check all of them, make sure they're still at 60 foot-pounds. All right, guys, so once you have all your cab mounts torqued to 60 foot-pounds, I don't really worry about the front ones as far as torquing them. I'll just get the gun back on them and send them home with the impact till they're tight, and then you are pretty much done. Go back and put all of your trim pieces back in. Be very careful, do not break the clips. You want to make sure that when you go back in, they are lined up in all these slots before you hammer them down. I like to just give them a firm smack with my fist. Make sure all your grommets are back in. Pretty simple as far as that goes. They just pop in just like that, and then you're done. You can put your carpet back where it goes. You will see where we fought one really bad. It's pretty likely, depending on where your truck is located at, that you are going to fight one pretty bad. If you get one that's fighting you, I really highly suggest you just go pick up an air hammer. there's really, you can beat the hell out of them as much as you want, and they really, I don't know why, but these pieces right here, they just seize up almost like they kind of friction weld themselves in, and they just suck to get out. You can see where I beat the hell out of that one with the air hammer to get it to come out. Really big pain in our butts that one was. But like I said, go get an air hammer with a good bit, and you can feed it down into that hole and get it on the outskirts of the rim of that dinner plate and just drive it out. It does suck. If you're doing it by hand, you will fight it nonstop. So that's my little helpful information for you on that one. But that's pretty much it, guys. You can go back through, like I said, put all your trim pieces in. Do not forget to put your grommets back in your holes where your cab mounts are at. And it is normal when you go to the S&B mounts for, if you look at this body trim piece, or not body trim piece, the body molding here, it is very normal for the cab to now be higher than the bed, about ½ an inch or so. That's just the way it is with these cab mounts. Don't worry about it too much. I know it kind of does bother some people if you're really kind of meticulous about looking at stuff, but that is just the way that these cab mounts are. They will settle. I do suggest that if you can, maybe in about a month or two of driving the truck, go back in, recheck all your bolts, make sure they're still tight, make sure they haven't loosened up, and that's really about it, guys. Like I said, don't forget to tighten your front ones back up here. Just get your gun on them and go back down. I didn't even take the nuts off them, and we did not replace the front core support mounts. So if you feel like replacing those, like I said, pull your bumper, pull your tow hooks out, and you can fish them in that way. That's 100% up to you. Ours were brand new. Don't know what the hell that was all about, but you can see why we replaced these. This is probably most of our culprit here. This is our back rear on the driver's side. It just completely clapped out, and there was no rubber on the bottom. So that's usually what you'll see is this. So when your cab is like you're going over bumps or anything like that, this piece has no cushioning right here. So what'll happen is it'll just come up and smack the bottom of the cab, and that's your clunking noise right here. So take all that, throw it in the scrap pile, because that's where it belongs. Ford should be ashamed of themselves for these things. They're still putting these same exact crappy body mounts on even brand new 6.7 trucks. You would think that they would learn, but they don't. They don't ever learn. So throw them in the trash. You don't need them no more. S&B makes a fantastic product. I absolutely love putting these cab mounts on, guys. They ride amazing. They get rid of the clunk completely. It's just an awesome product. Go pick them up. Like I said, make sure if you're picking a crew cab, doing a full crew cab and doing the front core support mounts, make sure you go pick up a full crew cab kit from S&B. That's going to close it out for us. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel, watching this video, subscribing, the whole 9 yards. You guys are absolutely awesome. We love you guys. Thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. I never thought we'd ever reach a milestone like that. That's absolutely awesome. But me and the wife are going to check out here. We're going to go get showered up because we've been sweating our asses off knocking these cab mounts out. So make sure you follow all the instructions I showed you. Should go pretty smooth as long as you don't have one that seizes up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.